commentary for this show was so interesting. You have moments like I think we've seen Carl Jones probably tell the story a million times with like the Usher episode and that being something that actually happened to him. So you have like episodes that are probably based on real events that happened to the writers or the creators. But when I'm looking at like the things that happen in media, like the Milton episode, where like, all right, you had this kid who did this wild thing at Walmart and like beat his grandma up, but then they just expanded that moment into him being Michael Myers essentially. So like the way they expand on a small moment, it's almost like a sketch comedy, but they just put so much wittiness and presentation on it, and then combine it with the art style for it. It's really masterful. There's one thing for me to write a character and write like dramas or anything like that, but writing comedy is so difficult and requires a particular hand to do so, and especially to understand your audience, because as much as this is a show that's funny to probably everybody, it's particularly funny to Black people because we understand the messaging and the language that's trying to get pushed across. You have some episodes where they try to like appeal to different people because they're looking at different cultures and whatnot, like maybe like the dodgeball episode where you have the Chinese characters come in, but for the most part everything's very Black centered in the humor, even to the point where they're getting all of these Black celebrities to come in and do stuff. And that's probably another thing that I found very interesting, is that they're able to get top-notch comedic performances out of regular celebrities. Me and Otis have played 2K. I've watched NBA players try to read off a script for a video game in 2K. Like, I remember trying to hear Deion Waiters and Al Jefferson read off a script that was simple, like keep going, Rook. I know it's tough out there. So for them to go grab Lil Wayne and be like, hey, we getting a comedic fucking stroke of genius from Lil Wayne here, or we're gonna grab Sam Jackson, who's somebody who's just like unintentionally funny, but now we're gonna have him just do Sam Jackson shit and make this 100% funny.
Obviously, anytime you deal with athletes are kind of notoriously bad actors. It is. We all know this. It is what it is. There are some exceptions on some level. Obviously, wrestlers, WWE wrestlers, or what have you, or AEW, they are basically performers, so they know how to handle it better than most. But like basketball players or whatever, that's like, ooh, it's.
You didn't enjoy Mike in Space Jam? You don't think he?
I don't even. It's one of those things where I'm not even sure if Space Jam 1 or Space Jam 2 had a lead performer. But yeah, but yeah, but the actual like writing and stuff, like that's literally, you said, you brought up a good point, Dev, how it seems like it's really good, almost like sketch comedy, because it has a lot of like Cedric Yarbrough and Gary Anthony Williams, Charlie Murphy too. The people that were in that the writers' rooms actually do sketch comedy, or they actually were in improv groups out here in LA, like Groundlings and Second City, that type of stuff. So they actually know their stuff. They know how to hit these beats really, really well. And also because Gary Anthony Williams and Cedric Yarbrough were both the writers for a lot of their characters' moments, and they actually were the performers. They know how to hit the beats that much better. They're even trying to do it. Back in the day, they were trying to do that with Uncle Ruckus, with a live action movie. They're trying to do a Kickstarter campaign for that with Gary Anthony Williams as Uncle Ruckus. So I mean, it's literally having comedic geniuses that know how to do. They know their craft.